Hello, Internet. How you doing out there? Out in the nether. I'm just here in Austin, Texas. Right now I'm listening to a little bit of Gambino. A little bit of Childish Gambino. You don't have to call. You can get this for free off of his Stone Mountain EP. And shit's about to get real. Also tonight, we're editing Scam School. Episode 368. And that episode will be released next week. It's gonna be a doozy. In that I'm gonna try and start it and finish it tonight. Because it's a fairly easy episode, and I think that should be doable. I don't really have any monitoring set up, so let me know if levels are good, if levels are bad. One of these days I'm going to upgrade my mic. I was talking to Roberto about that today. You know, the good old Blue Yeti does fine, but I don't know, I just want something a little bit beefier. Please, nobody tag beef in chat. We don't need his kind around here right now. Yeah. Oh my god, Rick Foster. You're telling me. Gambino, he's been on a rampage. Actually, let me get you guys up here. Yeah, that dude's on some. He's man. I think he's doing something real special, and
my leather passenger seat exhales.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready for all that, cause it's not me. I mean, who is right? I'm gonna take you to Tongue and Groove.
Right out.
$20 to wear my hat.
I just realized I don't really know what I'm
pay for it to the niggas behind me. Looking at Jeezy like that shit came out yesterday.
Let's get
Thug motivation.
Let's populate.
I was never a thug, and they used to respect
It's
me for it.
been like months since I last
game's
used
fucked up, and I got a Michael Corleone.
OBS.
Quiet.
What am I doing?
Confident. I talked to her. She came with you, but she left with me, and now she's in the passenger seat.
Cause I got chat. Hey,
So, where we going?
that's my face. No, don't
Just the way.
say beef.
Which leaves you standing there thinking.
What's chat? That's like a window capture thing, right? Oh my god. Yeah, I've seen Donald twice in concert now. This track is amazing. I've seen him twice now. I saw him once in Austin at the last South by Southwest, and it was cool, but it was like, because you know he's really upped his production on that kind of stuff. But it was I don't know. It was way less personal than the first show that I saw him at, which was in Dallas like 3 years ago or so. And that was back when he was still doing like a lot of stand-up in his shows. Like it was this weird like, oh, he's doing stand-up, but also he's doing music, but also he's doing short films and stuff, and sketches. He was kind of strange. Yeah, there we go. But you know that Dallas show was like super intimate and personal, because it was just this little venue out in the middle of Dallas, but it was really nice. And that was before he blew up effectively. But yeah, that dude's for reals. This is a disaster. I was so pumped. I was like, oh man, I got all this set up, and then I was like, oh wait, I'm probably gonna talk to some of you people, so I should effectively have you on screen so that way I'm not just talking to nobody. Oh, because the internet app was awesome. Like, I was so confused by it until, you know, I showed up at his performance, and it was like region locked, and it was so cool. Yeah, you could draw whatever you want, and then the drawings went up on. It was projected on stage behind him. It was really awesome. Oh man, this delay's great. Thanks Neshcom. You got me. I want to get 3 lines in here. Where am I at on that? Just a little bit more. A little bit more. I'll go 165. There we go. Now we're oh, I was just about to close out OBS. That would have been terrible. Would have been a disaster. Anyway, yeah, if any of you haven't bought Kawaii yet, Childish Gambino's latest EP, it is phenomenal, like through and through. It's really exceptional. Just about every track on there is ridiculous and amazing, and he's doing existential rap, which is phenomenal, and I could not possibly have more higher praise for like anything. Yeah, alright, so let's fade this out. Real high-tech fade out, because I've got my phone plugged in through auxiliary. And so I just tap it down. And let's get some of this done. For real. Yo, this is the realest. And then we could also kind of test out and make sure that all of this actually sounds decent. So far, the only thing I've done with this episode is I've imported all of the footage from the episode, and I've imported the footage from the episode and the footage from stand-ups, and I've merged them all together, and that's really it. And I saved the file. So let's first things first. Let's come in here. So I'm gonna guess that's the 4K footage, the one that's broken up, because it doesn't span in the same way that the hacked GH2s span. Yeah, and also it's huge. Have I mentioned it's huge? Don't take that out of context. I'm looking at you, Bryce. I should also probably mention that if anybody's watching this on YouTube, which is nobody, but if you haven't watched this in kind of archived, everybody who's chatting is chatting over at diamondclub.tv. That's where you could have been if you were here live, but you're not, so deal with it, I guess. All right. Let's see. What's our comp size for this giant thing? Okay. So we got 3840 beep bop boop bop 2160. Alright, so that should make our comp size massive, but it needs to there we go. It needs to refresh the previews. Yeah, the past is the worst. Let's be for real here. Let's keep it honest. Alright, so since my last live stream, we've incorporated 4K footage, which is nice. It's only one of the cameras, so it made for an interesting problem, because the way that I'm pretty sure the way that Premiere works is that once a video is set to a certain image size, it kind of renders out to that image size and then uses that render for successive edits and stuff. So let's say we had the 4K footage and we had it in this giant nested comp, and it was set to fit the 1080p image, and then I come in here and it's along with the other 1080p footage. If I then switched over to the 4K stuff, and then I zoomed in, like, I wouldn't get any extra resolution because it would have rendered it at 1080p in this comp. Anyway, so I have to do this dumb thing where I basically make a 4K comp, even though this is the only 4K footage, and then I scale everything else up so that way everything else can be scaled down afterwards to our 1080p output, which I'm sure introduces some kind of compression artifacting or something, but like, whatever. It makes the 4K look really good, so that's really all that matters. In fact, if the 1080 looks worse, then that just means that the 4K is going to look double good in comparison, obviously. I'm just kidding a little bit about that. I really don't know what I'm doing with anything ever. So we scale these up. And Zax is on the end. Oh wow, the Zax is like real tight on that shot. I am reading your guys' words, but I don't think I'm following any of them. So scaled frame size 1080p footage. Yeah, so the 1080p I scale up to 4K, and then when I'm working with it here, it's scaling it down to 1080. So it effectively stays the same, but the 4K footage is scaled down to 1080 in this comp, which lets me scale it up and get the full resolution out of it. So for instance, I will scale this. So I made this layer 4K, so that way everything is natively 4K inside of that layer, and that layer is put in this giant episode layer with everything that's rendering out to 1080. So I scale this down to 1080, so that's stretched out and then stretched back down. And then here I can go in and zoom in for the 4K and get like the full. That's not how you zoom in, and I can get the full resolution. Now Bryce is saying after you do your multicam edits, you can right-click, multicam, flatten, and pull out individual files from the multicam and scale up. Multicam, flatten. Oh, interesting. So you do, man, I feel like that would be, I don't know. Well, what I do is when I do camera cuts and stuff, I just go in and mess around with that little bit of the nested multicam. I don't know if your method has any more stuff. Yeah, but wouldn't you have to go through and do that for like? Well, I guess you could do that. You can make all your edits and then you could flatten it out, and then you could just apply a scale to file size for all, right? And that would kind of natively put everything in its fullest resolution. So I guess if this method does introduce any kind of artifacting in the 1080 footage, then you wouldn't get it with your method. So yeah, that's a good idea. I'll do that on the next episode. I'm not going to do that on this episode because I've already got it set up. Let's see, audio. So are you saying you just flatten the 4K cuts then? Is there a way to very specifically just flatten those? Or would I have to go through and select? But if you're going through and flattening, if you're going through and flattening just like the 4K edits, then that sounds like it would be a lot of work. And I'm very averse to working. I don't know, unless you have like a super cool sneaky way to not have to like very specifically select all of those. That's a keeper. I'm gonna save that thumbnail. I pretty much save all of the thumbnails now. Just like the entire episode in thumbnails. There we go. I think it's still catching up with the adjusted frame size.
Oh. God damn it.
Whoa, hello ladies.
It looks like an iPhone.
How are you?
Yeah, that sounds like it would take a while. I don't know. This method kind of just lets you set it up and forget about it, which has its own advantages. Oh yeah, all these ladies were like filing in because there's like a bachelor party or something.
Oh, God damn it.
Whoa, hello ladies.
It looks like an iPhone.
How are you guys?
What are y'all doing?
Just an internet bullshit show.
You guys take close though. I'm gonna tell you.
We're
guys
TV
that.
close.
You can go 10 inches apart.
TV close.
Yo, you look
Who wants to
really
get
good
closer?
right
Although this is a little aggravating, I'll restart Premiere and hopefully that'll push the previews to refresh. Although I guess I could just clear out my stuff, delete rendered files, and that would probably do the same thing, or it would probably do just as effective of a job.
Yes, yeah.
Oh boy. Gotta keep that thumbnail. There we go.
Love it. Cuddle bear. You look the most cute.
Save that. That pretty much is kind of Brian's mantra. I'm a big deal. No big deal. Put that in the outtakes nice and early.
He's making you look Irish. Like being fair.
I am. He is Irish. Racist.
I thought Mexican, right? Racist.
What, next you're going to say I like potatoes?
Racist. I don't know what's
All right, say when. Oh, we're ready? Yeah. Sorry, I didn't realize.
Yeah, this is how all iPhone commercial
All right.
shoots look. Obviously.
Here we
You know, the big white backdrop. There we
go. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, do I have... Let's see if I've got the channels in the right order. I always have Brian in 1 just because it makes things simpler, since his is the one that has to be edited most, typically. Or at least his is like the foundation that all other audio is based off of. Kind of the same way that, you know, I keep the master shot over in the first quadrant. Always, just to keep things, you know, that way I have a sense of what's up and what's down. Oh, and it's not.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1, toast. Boom.
Alright, so it's 3. There we go.
All right, so here we are back with Mike.
Oh man, his voice sounds ragged. I'm getting a little bit of the chugs here, streaming out and editing. I feel like that wasn't as big of a deal back before 4K, but maybe I'm just fronting.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1, toast. Go.
Here we go. Actually, I'll drop this in back here. So we got the first transition in. This transition will come in right after the toast. And we can pull all of this back. Well, what's that? Oh, that's for the stand-ups. I'll do stand-ups later, because stand-ups are like so easy.
Oh, 3, 2, 1, toast. Boom.
Oh man, look at that frame rate. It's so fast.
All right, so here we are back with Mike and Jason, and I have 3 riddles, all 3 of which completely floored me. I was unable to solve any of these.
Oh, that's gonna kill me. Maybe your method would be better, Bryce. Because that's disastrous.
Look, I got this vague feeling like maybe the 2 of you are smarter than I am. Maybe your combined powers. So I'm gonna give you all 3. If you solve any of them, free beers for the rest of the night. What if I bring down the curve? What if he's smarter than you, but I'm stupid enough to make everything? What if he's smarter than you, I'm stupid enough to make everything? Math. Okay. The first one. Imagine a hardware store. Guy walks into a hardware store and he grabs an item that you'll find at every hardware store. Walks up to the counter, says, "How much for one?"
Yeah, I feel like my computer handles the 4K stuff pretty well, generally speaking, but I guess just the stream added on top doesn't really help. I've never really used proxies all that much, but I'm assuming if you're able to do that, you could do that pretty easily. With proxy, you could probably just get whatever footage, render it out, and then just do a replace thing, right? I mean, I guess if you wanted proper proxy functionality, there'd be some thing where it's like, oh, this is a proxy, and when you render out with the actual footage. But I have my dumb mechanical brain, which doesn't really think like that would be an awesome feature, even though clearly it would.
One. The guy at the counter says 20 cents. Goes off. Comes back. Says, how much for 12? The guy says, 40 cents. Comes back. He's like, I'll take 122. He's like, that'll be 60 cents. What item was he buying? So he asked, how much for 1? The answer was 20. How much for 12? The answer was 40. How much for 122? And it was 60 cents. This is not good television, by the way.
Good one, Brian.
I know, I'm sitting there puzzling over it, man. All right.
By the way, that is the indicator of a good riddle. The fact that it just shuts everything down.
All right, can you tell us what the quantity is? Is it just 20 or is it 20 inches?
Oh, you know what I could do? This might help a little bit. Maybe not a ton. Playback resolution. Knock that down some. I don't need all that. Pause resolution. Knock that down some. I'm gonna delete render files. Whatever. I don't care. You're not the boss of me.
Is it 20 feet?
I think that's for you to figure out.
Okay, all right.
I'm still getting that 4K jump.
That's an important part of the riddle.
Okay, you got any idea, Mike?
I'm thinking wood.
Wood?
What, 100? Give me 122 wood.
Yeah.
What? What does that mean? I'm gonna go to the hardware store. I would like 122 wood. That doesn't mean anything. Okay, 20, 40, 60 cents.
He's also gone in the store 3 times.
I don't know.
Let's see.
All right, do you get to tell us now, or do we have to wait?
Well, I think we're waiting for this light to come back on. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, the light went out. I forgot about that. When did it go out? I wasn't even paying attention. I was just letting it go.
Let's see.
All right, do you get to tell us now, or do we have to wait?
Well, I think we're waiting for this light to come back on. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Where are we at?
Oh, maybe that's why my camera work was so dumb. I was like, Jesus, Brant, like, can you hold the camera a little bit steadier? And it's probably because the light went out, and I was talking to people as that happened.
Okay, all right. Well,
Maybe.
we're on pause for the moment.
Okay. Mold it.
Oh snap. This is some exclusive stuff. You would never see this in the actual episode because it's all off the record. Scam school.
Here,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
okay,
steal some of your
more is
IPA here.
Although I will say, there was an episode that we've released previously that took place in this very location. And there's some outtake footage that will never be aired anywhere. Because that would be bad. Especially if taken out of context. Oh man. It could be bad for a number of people.
Alright,
Even things out. Boom.
sync.
All right.
I mean, it was nothing criminal. It was just in bad taste, I'm sure.
Do you want me to tell it again?
Yeah.
All right. Guy goes into a hardware store, walks up to the register, says, "How much for one?" Guy says, 20 cents. Comes back, says, "How much for two?" Says, 40 cents.
That's
sorry,
so
how much for
mean.
12? Says,
Am I right?
40 cents. And he comes back and he says, "I'll take 122."
Hold on, Quassle's jumping around. Thanks, Sunbun.
And he says, "That'll be 60 cents." What is he buying? I'm terribly afraid you're gonna get it while the light's bad.
Cocaine.
God damn it! Fuck! You got it!
Oh, snap, and it's uncensored, too. Because otherwise we'd have to censor that for the actual episode. I'm putting that in outtakes, but I'll have to censor it. You heard it here. He actually said the bad word.
No. Shit.
So did Jason. Oh, scandal. The Hacking the System brothers potty mouthing it up over at the handlebar. Boy, oh boy. Get CTMZ on the line for that one.
Get in.
All right.
So that's John you were hearing off camera? And so at this point in time, you can only just barely hear it. But I'm telling John something right now. We're right behind this master camera. And I'm telling him, "Hey John, you should really pay close attention to this camera. I want you to look over it. I want you to lord over it. This is your camera now." I didn't say it like that, but I said something in that spirit. And that's because right now, you know, I'm operating my camera off to the left here. And I'm looking at Jason and Mike is his name. And then, you know, Zach is way off in this direction at the opposite end of this table. He's looking at Brian mostly, a little bit of Jason. But, you know, and then Roberto's off, like, in this direction. If you can kind of see where I'm pointing there. But he's barely in line of sight with us, and he's literally sitting underneath the stairwell monitoring audio because that's Roberto's a little spot when we shoot here. It's really funny. So nobody's like looking at this camera. But now that we have John on set, I'm like, "Hey John, look at this camera." Because hey, I'm Brian Hughes, and I've done this a time or two. I've really screwed up some shoots and somehow managed to salvage them. But I happen to know, hey look, they're pretty tightly framed in this master shot. This master shot's not going anywhere, but they might. So I'm telling John to look over it because I happen to know for a fact that they're not going to stay in this exact lineup, especially if I tell them to get close. They will spread out over the course of the episode. Mike in particular ended up going way out of frame quite a bit. So it'll be interesting to see how John handles this master shot. He really can't do much because, you know, if he pans over to get Mike in shot, he's getting Brian out of shot. That's not particularly great. So, you know, hopefully whenever Mike's out of the master shot, I've got good enough coverage on my end of things, which I think we've got enough to be good on that. Damn, I thought there was a no bounce option on Quassle. Damn, it's just too good. Quassle's too good. I don't know, maybe it's in preferences. Is that it? I don't know. I don't want you guys, like, messing with my dock. I think that's it. I'm going to pretend that's it. Hi, I'm Brant Hughes. Yeah, well, frankly, I think that line works well at any point in time in any stream. Anyway, so that's what's going on here. So you can, as we go through this episode, you can keep that in mind and see if you notice any kind of behavioral changes in accordance to that.
All right.
Also, just so you know, if I remember correctly, as far as lighting goes, we have a light like way up here, and it's like it's got one of those Gorilla Pods. It's attached to that. Oh snap! I didn't get notified. Thanks, Nesh. But I see it because it's on another monitor. We've got a light up here, and it's attached to a Gorilla Pod, and it's wrapped around like a steel bar. So I was getting real crazy with that one. Also, I think we've got a light kind of off on this end over on a light stand, and it's shining over in this direction. And then we've got a light kind of over in this end right next to Zach. And it's kind of acting as a fill for this side. And it's sitting on a light stand on a seat that Zach is sitting on. So that was fun.
You ready?
And that's the one that went out earlier.
This is just the opening salvo, so I'll give this one to you pretty quick. All right. All right. Any last minute guesses?
Oh man, listen to Brian's voice. Oh boy.
Any last minute guesses?
Silky smooth. That's what they call him. Silky smooth brushwood. He's got that radio voice. I'm being facetious.
Yeah, okay.
At least in this context.
Your idea here.
Okay, so this is after the breakdown.
All right, do you get to tell us now, or do we have to wait?
Well, I think we're waiting for this light to come back on. I don't know.
Alright, so I'll keep that line in for now, and then when we go in a second pass, hopefully we'll be able to clean up that little interaction a little bit better. Oh Jesus. Okay, so this happens sometimes, and I don't really know what's going on. I think Premiere needs some kind of update or something, because every now and then it gets in one of those funks, and it jumps back and forth between like two different frames or whatever, and it just keeps alternating really fast until I like go to another sequence, and then it's like, oh no, actually we're fine. That was weird, but don't worry about that. Anyway, so right now we're at like a total of approximately 17 minutes, more or less. 17, 18 minutes. That's that should be, I mean, like, we haven't even A-rolled it, and we're that quick. This is going to be a fast episode. So that's what's the word I'm looking for? Encouraging. Encouraging is the word. That's encouraging to see. You know, sometimes we get edits that are like 30 minutes long, 40 minutes long. And it's like, that is unacceptable. But starting at 17 is really, really good. All right.
Any last minute guesses?
No.
It's at a hardware store. That part is important. That doesn't do anything for you?
I'm generally very lost at hardware stores. Like, they're gonna...
Oh, I can smell a classic Jason quip coming up.
They're gonna ask me, what are you even doing here?
He's at a hardware
All right,
store
that's fine.
buying house numbers. One is 20 cents. 12
Two numbers. Yeah.
is 40 cents. 122 is 60 cents.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right. This next one is a little bit tougher.
Oh. There's a little touch of John in this episode.
Great. We did so well.
I know, right? All right,
Go.
let me look it up because
Alright, that's going in the outtakes. Thanks for that one, Brian.
all right.
Please be the riddle of the Sphinx. Please be the riddle.
All right, you know what? There's no way. Where did this come from, John? No.
Come on, refresh. Damn you. Alright, there we go.
The one in emails said it. Who that one last?
From who? No. This, well. All right. Okay, all right.
These came from the Riddler.
Yeah.
Now there's a classic Jason quip. I'm keeping that.
All right. Okay, all right.
These came from.
I can appreciate a good Riddler jab.
The actual.
Pop quiz. Who kidnapped Commissioner Gordon? Answer, it's Brian.
Okay, all right.
Alright. That's Brian going into his Matthew McConaughey mode, which we're all quite familiar with if you've ever been to a scan school shoot. Alright.
Okay, all right.
Alright.
Second one is actually easier. I think you'll get this.
Oh, and also, it'll be worth noting, Brian's infamous momentum building hand gestures here. He does it like every time he comes back from a take, or every time he comes back from some kind of pause. Like, he needs to go in, like, at full energy. So he always does this with his hands. And I think it's, like, the funniest thing. But, it works. So I can't fault him for it.
All right. Second one is actually easier.
Yeah. Like that. Hold on. Let's zoom in on this. Hold on. Let's get a closer look. And investigate these hands. Yeah, I feel like I'm not getting 4K out of this. I don't know what's going on. Oh, that's why. Damn it. So with this 4K thing, like, you can't do scale to frame size because then it converts it to a 1080 image. So what you have to do is you have to, like, manually scale it, and then you'll get the full 4K. I'm pretty sure that's how that works. But we can fix that in a minute. Because right now, we got hands to worry about.
Okay, all right. Second. Yes. Second one is actually easier.
That's some good hand action right there. You better believe that. Take that to the bank. Alright, and also maybe it has something to do with the fact that I'm at half resolution. Maybe that's altering it a little bit. So maybe let's dive in a little bit. Yeah, because when I'm moving, you can see. Yeah, now I got it to set to frame size, or at least scale to frame size. I think that's. Oh, I see. So scale to frame size actually scales it down. Set the frame size, like, adjusts the scale to put it at the frame size. All right, later, Rick Foster. Good having you around. See ya, dog. I've actually literally never really took the time to figure out what set to frame size or scale to frame size mean. I literally don't know. Yeah, so I guess that just goes in and, like, manually does that. Well, that's cool. I'll run through and do that for all these then, because just in the off chance that it's doing some funny business, I'd rather it not do any funny business, like at all. 0% funny business. And then, you know, it all lights up with these pretty little yellow squares, that's always a bonus. We could swap that back down to half resolution. All right.
No. This, well...
Enough hand
All right.
nonsense.
Okay. All right. Second one is...
Ah! Brian, you suddenly shrunk to half your size. Yeah, so I wonder if this is actually going to also fix that crazy scaling issue with the 4K thing. It's clearly not going to fix it in this quadrant, because this quadrant's dumb and messed up for whatever reason. But maybe that'll help with when I switch over to it. Maybe it won't. I guess we'll have to find out.
Please be the riddle of the Sphinx. Please be the riddle of the Sphinx.
Jason. Man, I miss Jason. I see that dude like once every couple months or something. Outtakes.
All right.
All right, delete both of those.
So well.
I know, right? Second one is actually easier. I think you'll get this one. There are 10 candles. They're all burning, right? You leave the room, and you come back, and you realize that...
Nope. Still zoomed in. That's fine. Whatever. 4K. Deal with it.
the window's open, and 2 of the candles have gone out. You're like, meh, bummer. Then you leave. You come back, and you see 1 more candle has...
Maybe I was a little ambitious in thinking I was going to get this 100% done at 3 in the morning. Because I'm starting to get a little sleepy. I woke up early today.
has gone
Woke
out.
up at like 11.
You're like, well, I'll put it into this.
That's like mad early, dog. Sun was on the wrong side of the planet.
You shut the window.
Fuck. Brian, like, I need this preview to work. There we go. I think.
And you leave again. Assuming that no more candles go out.
Yeah, and Premiere's like not digging this. You know what? This is probably not going to do like anything, but I'll go in and clean out the cache.
Wait. Am I phrasing that right? Hold on. Okay, alright. Well, no. You shut the window. Hold on, let me double check this. Okay, yeah, alright. So you shut the window. Hold on, let me double check this.
Are you heading out to Sunbun, or are you just piecing out Rick with his salutations or goodbyes or what? I can never tell with you people.
Okay, yeah, alright. So you shut the window. You shut the window and leave. Assuming the wind doesn't blow out any more. Hold on. Candles go out. Assuming that no more candles go out. Wait. Am I phrasing that right? Hold on. Okay. You shut the window and leave. Assuming the wind doesn't blow out any more candles. And you leave again. assuming the wind doesn't blow out any. You shut the window and you leave again. Assuming the wind doesn't blow out any more candles when you
This is a high energy stream, guys.
come back in the morning, how many candles are there?
There are 10 candles.
Just three whole candles and 7 piles of wax.
That didn't according.
Oh yeah, I forgot about this. That was good.
That didn't go according to plan.
It's to build their confidence.
If you couldn't hear, John goes, "That's to build their confidence." All of a sudden, I feel dumb that one fooled me.
You didn't get that.
Suddenly, I come to realize that maybe clearing out the media cache was not a great idea.
What's the answer? Is it 3 or is it 10?
It's 3. It's 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so the other, I don't know how big the candles are.
No.
Maybe
It's
they'll count
exactly
candles,
right.
like,
Maybe they'll burn. Maybe they'll burn. For like an entire week. I don't know.
I don't know if I phrased it wrong. But like you guys, it was totally clear. I must be a better communicator than I
You
thought.
said how many candles are there? I'm like, well, there's still 10 candles.
Well, yeah, no, but he got it exactly right. Yeah, so, yeah. All right.
Jesus. This is rough. Drop it down to a quarter resolution. Let's see if that helps any, maybe?
7 put
Well, like I got one that's definitely we're all right.
7 put
So far, it's a little bit smoother.
Well, like I got one that's definitely we're tied up, but you're gonna lose the next one. I guarantee
great.
it.
Alright, so we got to the Atos. This is all like, this is gonna be a little bit messy to clean up. I'm gonna make it red, so I'm like, oh snap, that stuff needs to be worked on.
Is that usable?
And also, they appear to be out of focus. Let me bump this up to full just to double check. Because if they are out of focus, I will be very cross with John. No, they seem fine. There may be a tiny bit out of focus, but I don't think any more than previously. It's just the quarter resolution dumb stuff. It's like, hey.
Did I phrase it wrong?
If there was one they were going to get, it was that one.
All right.
So I didn't want you to do it last.
All right. Fair enough. All right. And this one, who's the guy? Can you send me the name of who
Yeah,
this
it's
is
at the
from?
very bottom of the text.
Okay. All right. Got it. Right, I'm ready when you guys are. All right, here we go.
Brian has a lot of funny habits. You know, his whole toast thing at the beginning of the episode and the middle of the episode, which are all just like done out of habit, I guess. And it just forms some kind of plausible, organic transition between the things, between the segments of the show. But yeah, that's kind of funny. And all of his hand silliness. Oh, I guess I don't need that audio. This is just the temp placeholder kind of thing. Now I can drop in the transition stuff for the ad. The ad is not yet shot. Theoretically, I will be shooting that tomorrow. I really just kind of need to sit down and really hammer out details, which I'll do tomorrow. I have a rough idea in mind. If I'm not sure yet if I'm gonna stick to that idea or if I'm gonna bounce around and come up with some new stuff. But I will know soon enough, and by soon enough I mean tomorrow, right before I shoot the ad. We'll see. Alright, so I'm feeling a little drained on the episode, even though the episode is really not that bad. I think it's mostly just the starting and stopping that's really killing me. So I'm going to do stand-ups now. Stand-ups. Hopefully there's nothing, like, indicting in these stand-ups.
No. Some YouTube bullshit. Oh, okay. Yeah. Right on. We'll start, I don't know, like this shit.
Oh, beep. Sorry.
Alright.
Forgot to censor Brian.
So I'll step out right here. Riddles.
Oh yeah, these were pretty good. I think. I know the outro was pretty good. I liked my outro on this one.
Okay, got it. 3, 6, 7, intro.
By the way, Bryce, if you're still watching, while I was watching your stand-ups, I noticed a really funny camera operation tick that I used to have, but thankfully I've kind of gotten rid of it over time. But I noticed you do it, and I noticed Zach does it a lot as well, and it makes me laugh every time. But these were shot by me.
3, 6, 7, intro.
So obviously they're going to be perfect. Super perfect.
You don't have the light on. I don't know if you want it on.
Hey, you know what, Brian? Thanks.
Ready? Coming up in
You're
5,
a real nice guy.
4, 3.
Because otherwise this would have looked terrible if I didn't have the light
show
on.
that's exactly like the Riddler, only it dresses better. I mean, not by a lot, but
Oh, another
slightly.
Riddler thing.
I mean, it's not wearing a...
Oh, jeez, he's so out of focus. It's impossible to focus this. Yeah, it totally is fiddling with the focus. I notice a lot of times you accidentally go in the wrong direction, so you'll notice that it's out of focus, and then you'll try and zoom in, but you'll end up zooming out or focusing in, focusing out. You know, so you just go the opposite way. I used to do it a billion times all the time. Zach still does it a lot, but thankfully I've just kind of gotten it down in a second nature kind of deal. This is actually not out of focus. I'm impressed with myself.
lot, but
Again,
slightly...
it's that quarter resolution stuff that's messing with my brain. But these are really hard to get in focus and stay in focus. Especially since sometimes I'll notice that, like, the focus is a little bit closer to the lens than I expected, and Brian's a little bit further, so he's out of focus. But I'll try to close the distance and get the camera closer to Brian, but when Brian sees that, he tries to maintain the distance, assuming that it was in focus to begin with, and then he like speeds up his walking backwards and gets further out of focus. The doing stand-ups is always a weird dance.
I mean, it's not wearing a one-piece unitard with the...
Yeah, I don't blame you. You guys had you had very little time to shoot that. So.
Question. Hey man, welcome to Scam School, the only show dedicated to social engineering at the bar and on the street. Hello,
man, was this a one take? I think it was.
And this week we have 3 unbelievable riddles. Stuff you can do anytime, anywhere to fry their minds. I sound like the Riddler, don't I? It's okay, you can admit it. All right. Yeah, here, we'll cross over.
Yeah, man, one shot. Look at that. You know, sometimes we get it, sometimes it takes a billion takes, but this was a good one. First shot on like everything just about. No, yeah, first take on all 3. I saw there was a little bit of that. I didn't listen to all the audio from the stand-ups, but I saw that. I'm kind of bummed that it doesn't entirely make sense to use the Voigtlander lens for like all of these walk and talks. I might try it one time just to see like how insane it would look. But it's a little bit worse off than this lens, if only because it's more telescopic than this. So it's gonna just inherently be less stable. But I think I'm good enough with the glide cam now that maybe I can handle the Voigtlander on this. It would definitely have a different look. It might be worth trying at some point in time, just because I'm so madly, deeply in love with that lens. Just like the whole look of the lens and its amazing low light capabilities and the density of the lens. Oh man, just like everything about it is so phenomenal.
This week you prove you're smarter than everyone else using the power of unfair riddles.
Yeah, look at that spin. That was a good spin. That was some Batman kind of spin.
All right, here, we'll walk along this line. Here. Next week we'll reveal the one weird trick to get elected to public office. Spoiler alert, it involves money. All right, we'll do that. Good enough. So I'll walk. So I'll walk around here and then kind of come in here. Does that work? I figure mostly backwards. I
don't know why I find that funny.
I walk all the way around. Yeah. Yeah, do-si-do. Yeah. Hi. Yeah. That's the Hollywood term that I learned when I was out in Hollywood. It's called a do-si-do.
Oh, Hollywood.
That's what Nolan calls it. All right, ready?
Yeah, pretty much anytime I say anything dumb, I just say I learned that from Christopher Nolan. He taught me that. Hey, Jeff, I didn't see you in chat, but now I see you live. That's cool. We should use the cough for censoring. It would be like, now you just gave me the idea of at some point we should do an episode where there's just a lot of cursing, but all the cursing is dubbed over with like those bad dubs. I think that would be a really funny episode. We should totally do that at some point, because that sounds great. Although I guess we kind of did that one time. I did that for one of our stand-ups. I think it was one of the closers, one of the outros. Brian said something about a trick, and it was like totally wrong, and it was like a minor detail that was totally wrong, and it slipped by him and it slipped by me. But then I noticed it when we were editing, so I just dubbed it over myself the day of release, and I thought it was super funny, and it was kind of great.
3, 6, 7, wrap up. Final thing. Wow, we're killing it. All right, coming up in 3, 2. Man, I don't know about you, but I got totally floored by those riddles. Look, the great thing about riddles is that anytime, anywhere, as long as they're up here, they can be down here. And by here, I mean your hands that'll be covered in the free beers you're gonna win for being so interesting. By the way, I want to hear about all of your success stories and failure stories, so post them down in the comments below. And of course, you should hit me up at brian@schwood.com with your favorite bar scam so that we can be best friends on twitter.com/schwood. That's SHWOOD. There is no
Easy there, Brian.
Don't
Getting a
forget
little
to join us
wild on
next
that
week, because
Glycam.
we're going to learn how you can get elected to public office with one weird trick. Spoiler alert, the trick involves money. Lots of money.
Oh no! I cut out like the best part. Hold on. That outro keeps going, and it's great. There we go.
Money. Lots of money. If you have money, you become powerful. That's not where the money comes from. That's that's not working out.
I thought that was pretty good.
Is that good?
Yeah, it was, Brian. You bet. Alright, drop this off back here. Boop, boop, boop. Oh, this is a bit longer. Maybe I'll cut out some of that intro.
This week you prove you're smarter than everyone else using the power of unfair riddles. Ah!
Nah, like, I gotta see some of that spin. Some of that spin. I gotta see that. Gotta get that. Gotta get that. Yeah, we can fade out during that. That's good. Yeah. Is that a little loud? Oh, it sounds like I was maybe being a little loud.
This week you prove you're smarter than everyone else using the power of unfair riddles.
Yeah, it's maybe not as impactful as I would have hoped, but yeah, it gets the job done. Alright. Try and clean this up a little bit. Oh yeah, I guess there's a big whole deal about framing that, but maybe.
This week you prove you're smarter than
Ugh.
everyone else
That was
using
gross.
the power of
So instead, what I'll do is I'll just extend it out a little bit more. I don't know if it's really advisable that I do that, but hey, you know what? I do what I want.
This week you prove you're smarter than everyone else using the power of unfair riddles.
Alright, let's clean up this theme audio a little bit. Comes in a little early, ramps up a bit too fast.
Using the power of unfair riddles.
Yeah, it's good. Maybe tighten this a little bit. There. Super Tease is taken care of, sort of. I still need to color it up. Let's go full res for that. video, fast color corrector, RGB curves, and sharpen. The holy trinity. Never forget. Yo. Alright, so we're gonna warm this up just a little bit. Night stuff, you don't want to do it too much, especially. Day stuff, you'll want to do it quite a bit, just because Brian really likes that kind of sunset glow look. I do it at night just to give it a little bit of warmth, but you do it too much and you're gonna start like messing with the blacks and all that stuff, and it's just gonna be a real mess. Alright, it's a little bright, but up the contrast some. Let's even pump this up a little bit more. I'll go ahead and do sharpen now. It's about 10. For the actual episode, you'll want to do a little bit less, just because sometimes it can be a little much. In fact, actually right now it feels a little much, so I'll go 7. Generally 5 to 10 is my usual range. Gives it just a little bit of extra edge, but it's not like ew, this looks like gross and sharpened. I mean, hopefully it doesn't look like that. It's not the plan. Alright. So I like to mess with the, I almost always like to mess with the blue channel. Usually get some good yellows out of that, but it really depends on the scene, because some scenes desperately don't need extra yellows. But something like this typically would. Just depends on whether I want it to come from the high end or the low end. Usually you kind of want to bring the highs down a little bit during night, and you want to bring the lows over during day. But again, that's super situational. You just kind of have to play it by eye. Sometimes I'll add in just a little bit of green. Just a little bit. Super tiny little bit. Kind of bring the blues down a little bit, get some yellows in there, and then bump the reds up just a tiny bit, just to like put some blood in his face, you know, figuratively speaking, not literally, obviously. That'd be really gross. But you know, you don't want him to look like ghostly white. That'll do. I mean, you really don't need to do too much with this. Oh man, you guys should see one of the first episodes that I shot. Like, I remember we had an intro, or maybe it was just a super tease, where Brian was walking across the street, and I was in the middle of the street, and he was walking across the street. It was at a crosswalk during a red light. And you could see the Capitol building in the background. And oh my god, I shot that so incredibly out of color temperature, it's not even funny. Like, it looked really, really, really bad. And it took a ton of work, ton of just messing with a bunch of curve layers and stuff just to get it usable. And that was a miraculous save. Not to toot my own horn or anything, but that was a good one. Alright, now let's put in place the intro. We'll probably apply the same color over that, but you'll have to proofread that, or proof check that. Just look over it. That's what I'm trying to say. Whoop. Alright. Pull all this back. Yeah, now that I'm not working with 4K, this thing's just zipping along real fast, like.
You by domain.com. Welcome to the show that's exactly like.
Yeah, cut out some of that. Like, we don't need to see you walking out of there. Come on. What is this? 2006? I don't think so.
Welcome to the show that's.
Okay, that's maybe a little too much. We got to see him walk out a little bit if we're gonna see him walk out. Just not nearly as much as there was.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Looks good. So let's just copy these over. It is a different scene, so it might not be as applicable. Oh, it looks pretty good. It's maybe a little strong on the reds. Maybe that has something to do with this big red light up here, but I'm going to counteract that right now. Yeah, that helps a little bit. Hey, you know what? Whatever. That's fine. One of the most important skills that you can learn from this job is learning when to compromise and when to settle and when to say, you know what? That works. Because when you're on a deadline, you don't have all the time in the world to nitpick over stuff.
Welcome to the show that's exactly like the Riddler, only it dresses better. I mean, not by a lot, but slightly. I mean, it's not wearing a one-piece unitard with the question. Hey man, welcome to Scam School, the only show dedicated to social engineering at the bar and on the street.
And that's our cue. Brian Brushwood.
At the bar and on the street. Hello, beautiful people. I'm Brian Brushwood, and this week we have 3.
And it's actually pretty great because I don't know how much he does this intentionally, but I'm sure he's picked up on it over time. Whenever he says hello, beautiful people, I'm Brian Brushwood, he always lifts his hands up, and it's almost always at like the exact same speed as the lower third, which is a really like weird touch, a weird like polished little minor production thing, but I think it's really cool every time it matches up.
At the bar and on the street. Hello, beautiful people.
It's like he's pulling up the paper, and then he does his T-Rex arms, and then he throws it down.
I'm Brian Brushwood, and this week we have 3 unbelievable riddles.
Yeah, pretty much. He always lifts up the title, it goes into T-Rex arms. It's pretty great.
And on the street. Hello, beautiful people. I'm Brian Brushwood, and this week we have 3 unbelievable riddles. Stuff you can do anytime, anywhere to fry their minds. I sound like the Riddler, don't I? It's okay. Okay, you can admit. I sound like the Riddler, don't I?
And I'm gonna cut all that out. Cut it. Ain't nobody got time for that, Brian.
Here we go.
Alright, I'll cut out just a tiny bit more. Ah, damn. I hate it when I can't, like, roll edit. Because there's some dumb layer above or below that's, like, holding me back. Like, let me live my life, dog. I'm just trying to roll edit. Bro, do you even roll edit? Probably not. Because you're a square. Loser square. Dumb idiot. Roll edit. Oh no! I slightly deleted a little bit of that. But it's okay now. So this one, Brian was able to throw in both a Twitter and an email. Usually he only gets one in. But he still didn't do Facebook, so I feel like we haven't done a Facebook one on the actual episode in a billion years. In fact, I wonder how out of date that is. Probably very. Alright. Transition. There we go. If I remember correctly, he does email and then Twitter on this, maybe? Let's find out.
So post them down in the...
Oh man, he did it comments. Telling the audience to post them down in the comments is slightly frowned upon, mostly by me, if only because that means that for the AR feed I have to cut that out, because a lot of times wherever that gets posted to, they don't always have comments, so they're like, hey, can you not include that? Then again, I haven't had a note on AR feeds in a billion years, so I don't really know how heavily that's policed.
Want to hear about all of your success stories and failure stories, so post them down in the comments below. And of course, you should...
Although, I have found a really nice workaround for whenever that happens in using the AR feed, because they're totally fine with Brian plugging his own Twitter. So, whenever he says post them in the comments, I'll just cut from post them in the... Or
Interesting. By the way, I want to hear about all of your success stories and failure stories, so post them...
So you'll say post them
down in the comments. And
then I'll cut out down in the comments, and then I'll just cut over to the Twitter, and I'll just do post them at twitter.com/swid, because that's a totally fair game. So if he says that, as long as he gives his Twitter plug, then we're all good.
I want to hear about all of your success stories and failure stories, so post them down in the comments below. And of course, you should hit me up at...
There we go. There's the email. Oh, no, that's the performance bit, which I haven't used in a really long time, and actually that needs to be revamped because it's been used like 3 times and I feel like it's out of date. But then again, I guess I feel that way about almost everything that I make. That was just kind of like their old thing was they did like for the performance or test time or whatever you want to call it, they used to do one of these, and I felt like that's so like that just doesn't work because you're fading over into the same clip, right? A lot of times it would do that and then not even like camera change or anything, or it would camera change, but then it's like it's the same pacing. Like that's reserved for segment breaks and stuff, and so it just felt really wrong using it for this test time performance stuff.
Brian@schwood.com. Of course, you should hit me up at Brian@schwood.com with your favorite bar scam so that we can be best friends on Twitter.
There we go. So that we could be best friends on Quassel. Quassel IRC. Quassel Fever. Catch it.
On Twitter.com/
Yeah, I always feel like we should maybe have some kind of audio drop for the Twitter plug. If only because, you know, the paper has it. The toss to ad has its own thing. And it's like, but the Twitter is totally silent. Although I guess it's not too bad because typically there's some music playing, and then the music fades out during the Twitter drop, and then this fades in. The Scam School end theme. So I guess it's not too bad, but yeah, it's always something I kind of thought about. There was never any particular sound that kind of made sense for me to use there.
Be best friends on Twitter.com/Schwood. That's SHWOOD. There is no C in Schwood. Don't forget to join us next week.
Oh, that's actually kind of perfect because that's when my glide camming was like real garbage. So that covered up most of that.
Friends on Twitter.
Yeah, I guess I can't really push it back much further.
Friends on Twitter.com/Schwood. That's SHWOOD. There is no C in Schwood.
Also, the perfect thing about this, I put a lot of attention and detail into how this is animated, so that way basically you can kind of just cut out any bit and like extend it however much you want, and it almost always looks perfectly seamless. I guess in that point there was a little bit, but worst case scenario you could just dissolve and it actually is perfectly seamless. So it's basically like an endless loop for Twitter, in case you needed to extend it out for some reason past 15 or 5 seconds or however long it is, whatever. I was always kind of proud of that.
WOOD, there is no C in Schwood. Don't forget to join us next week because we're going to learn how you can get elected. Don't forget to...
I always sync this up with don't forget to join us next week. I always feel like that's kind of the best go-to for that.
Don't forget to join us next week because we're going to learn how you can get elected to public office with one weird trick. Spoiler alert, the trick involves money. Lots of money. If you have money, you become powerful. That's not where the money comes from. No, that's not working out.
You guys take
Although it might be a little strange having a full CTA without any of this end bit. Oh, so actually what I could probably do is I could probably take this thunder sound, and I could probably just stretch it out so that way it starts playing underneath all this. But also I feel like this one might have just a quicker CTA than usual. Also, you can 100% hear my neighbor's washing machine going during this. Because I recorded this during like one of our 2 thunderstorms last year. Because it was too good of an opportunity to pass up. So I just kind of have my mic set out in my living room, just like recording 30 minutes of audio or whatever. And it ended up paying off because that was well before this end tag was ever made out of anything. So basically the moral of the story is record everything always, all the time, and eventually you'll find some kind of use for it. Also get extra hard drives because you're going to record a lot of stuff doing that. So here's the thing I do. Oh, Jesus, Jeff, you're totally right. I 100% forgot about that. I don't think anybody's mentioned that. Although, I guess, well, yeah, like, Bryce's episode and my episode had both the outdated tag. Damn. Well, I'll do that before this episode goes up, because I've got, like, 4 days or something. So I'll do that. And Bryce, I'll share that file with you when I get it. Ugh. Actually, that's a pretty easy edit. I'll do that right. Oh wait, I can't do that. Can I do that right now? Let me double check because in order to re-render that, I would need the video footage again, and I'm not sure if I have it or if it's still just on my external hard drive. So let's see. Bizarre Magic Tag, Frost Thunder. Beep pop boop pop. Yeah, I don't. So, Bryce, have you seen any comments about people saying, "Hey, this is out of date"? Because I haven't. Let's see. Oh, great! So I do have the footage loaded up, so I can just full on straight up just go ba-doop. Oh man, I'm so sad. I'm gonna have to take Zach out of this. I mean, I'll leave him in until his episodes are up. So there'll actually be 2 versions of this. But with Zach moving, I'll take him out. Bummer. Also, Bryce, I'm gonna move you up the ranks. I have a very deliberate. I have a very deliberate ordering of the names. I don't know that people fully understand that. Maybe they do. Maybe they understand that there is an order. They just don't know what the order is. So originally it was this. Brian, first and foremost, because he's the face of the show. He owns like the company Bizarre Magic Inc. It's kind of a no-brainer that he's up there first. I put John next because of seniority. He's obviously been around far longer than I have. And also he has some incredible contributions as far as helping write the episodes, helping make money on scam stuff that helps make doing this as a job like a viable thing. Also, Zach does, to the best of my knowledge, Zach helps out find some of the stuff too. I'm not 100% sure on that process because I'm not involved at all, which is totally fine by me because I would be terrible at it. Then I'm next because I'm next in seniority, and then also I edit the episodes, so I kind of just get to say where I'm put. And also editing the episodes can be a lot of work, especially 2014. You know, doing an episode a week, it was kind of insane for a very long time, and it took its toll on me. But hopefully that'll ease up a little bit now. But I feel like, you know, I've earned that spot. Zach's next because obviously Zach does a ton of work. He helps do like all the live switching and stuff, and he helps do. He did like scam stuff, and he'd help out on shoots. He would be, you know, second camera operator, and also he was just next in line for seniority. And then Roberto, for a while, was like the last add-on, and he's just kind of contracted work for Scam School. He does, you know, a ton of the audio engineering side of things, and so he's technically not like, although I guess we're all kind of independently contracted. I was thinking like we are kind of up here. This is kind of the main grouping of Bizarre Magic, and Roberto's, you know, he's more a fan of Bizarre Magic, but he obviously has some invaluable contributions to the Scam School side. So it would feel very wrong not including him here on the Scam School episode, but he kind of went at the bottom because he had the least going on there. And then Bryce was last because when I made this was like the week after Bryce moved down or something. Like I guess maybe not that soon, but you know, Bryce had just gotten here, so he was last in. But now you're gonna be moving up because you're doing a lot of editing work, and so I feel like you can go in the editor's tier, right? And then I'll take Zach off next, and then Roberto's still gonna be on the bottom just because he's only independently contracted for that one little thing. I say little thing as if it's not like a huge, incredible help. So I'll do this version, and then I'll take Zach out once we run through these episodes. Just because obviously I would not want to short shrift. What's the turn of phrase there? I think it's short shrift with the sh on the second one. Obviously I would not want to cut him out of the episodes that he helped make. Yeah, Jeff, that would be really cool. Shooting Scam School at Nerdtacular, or really anywhere outside of Austin, would be kind of cool. I know we've kind of talked on like a super basic preliminary level of like what would it be like to shoot an episode of Scam School, you know, at Nerdtacular or at Dragon Con or at anywhere else. And it is kind of a wild idea of bringing all of our production equipment. Luckily, it almost all fits into 3 bags, basically. All of our primary gear fits into 3 bags, and then we've got like tripods and stuff. So it's not 100% out of the question, but I imagine that sounds... I don't know. It would be a cool idea, for sure. I just don't know when or how we would do it specifically. But it is an interesting thought. So these end up rendering out as pretty large because they're fairly uncompressed. I mean, they are compressed, but at super high bit rates. I'd assume, I don't know, because effing After Effects CC, whenever you render it out in H.264, it doesn't tell you the specific bit rate that it's rendering out. I guess you could limit the bit rate. You could say, do a max bit rate of this, which maybe I should, but it's they used to tell you like specifics, which was nice. Let's do 2015. And I'll append a month and a date on that. Yeah, that looks good. So theoretically that should render out. Yeah, don't worry about that, because those are two other alternate video files that I had contemplated using instead of this phenomenal clouded frost tower shot that I shot at the handlebar. Meanwhile, oh, you know what we could do while we wait? Yo, check this out. Yo, this is gonna be on some for reals. Dropping. Oh, snap! That was really loud. My apologies. I should have warned you. But I didn't know myself. Short shrift is in fact the term I was thinking of. Curt treatment, as it is described. That, in fact, it does sound quite curt to be short shrifted. Yeah. Well, how about that? Oh man, it is just chugging along. Usually it doesn't take this long. Maybe the stream is contributing to that a little bit. Yeah, so if you dig the music, go to patreon.com/Neshcom, right? That's that one. Patreon. Maybe it's Brightcast. Maybe it's Neshcom. No, it's Neshcom. Alright, yeah, I got it right. Yeah, and you could get, like, streamable music like this. And so many more. Maybe later, maybe I'll close it out with some Gambino later, but I don't want to be in too bad of a standing with YouTube being like, yo dog, you can't stream that. We ain't gonna let you. Although the nice thing is, well, so when I would stream out just natively through Google Hangouts or whatever, it would like holler at me. It would beep and beep and beep and say, "Hey, stop! You're playing something illegally." I'm sure. But doing it all through OBS and stuff, like, man, it's dead silent. I don't hear a thing. So I could play all the dumb illegal stuff I want, but then, you know, I'd get my stream taken down eventually. But let's check this out. Let's see if it rendered out right. So those are in the 160 range. Yep, 160 range. Same deal. Get that nice grain in there. Nice and slow. Artificially slowed that down. Oh, damn. You can see a little bit of the camera panning back down. That thing in there. But I think this fades out, so you wouldn't see that anyway. Cool. So yeah, I'll send that to you tomorrow or something. If I totally forget and just don't do it, remind me, Bryce, and I will do it eventually. So now what we can do, and this is super easy. Oh, okay. So it doesn't fade out, but it's got the test tube wrappers on that. So for this, we just go into, what is it? Assets, Visuals, Bizarre Magic Tag 2014-02. Right click, replace footage. Game School, Assets, Bizarre Magic Tag, Frost Thunder, 2015-01-17. Hey, and would you look at that? Perfecto. That's my foreign accent. Perfecto. Pretty sure that's how it's spoken in its native language tongue. They also say it really awkwardly like that. Native language tongues. But that's great. Perfect. Let's move on. As I was saying before, I was so graciously corrected by Jeff. Otherwise, who knows how many weeks we would have gone without updating that. Although I do think maybe that would have been kind of funny if it was just like halfway through 2015. Oh yeah, maybe we should change that. I even try to remind myself like a couple of weeks before the year ended, and you would think I would have just known myself well enough that I would have said, you're never gonna remember to do that, so you should just do it right now. But I didn't. So here's what I do for the toss to the ad. I always do this. I kind of dig just the way it looks. There's no real rhyme or reason other than to add a more smoother gradient to the toss. And yeah, I just think it looks cool. So I do noise. I do map white to orange in about the 40 range, more or less. You can kind of fudge that a little bit. So you get this weird color. Start at 0, keyframe, go all the way to the break, and then do about, what is it, 30% noise, maybe, something like that, and then 60% tint. And so that gets you kind of this like monochromatic orange
We're tied up, but you're gonna
grain
the next one, I guarantee.
thing. Sometimes grain's a little too much, so I might bring it down to like 20, 25, just to give it a little bit of texture before it goes in. Just so that way, you know, something's always happening, because this is kind of a boring, like, structured break that happens exactly the same every time. So at least this way, there's something happening in the frame as they're
We're
toasting.
tied up, but you're gonna lose the next one, I guarantee.
Great.
And also, it always just, you know, helps blend in with that light leak. Anyway, I usually really only do that for the toss to the ad. I'll sometimes do that during the faded performance if there's a performance in the episode. I think I've done it going into the CTA before, but that's not entirely a regular thing. And now, back to your regularly scheduled programming. Yeah, Bryce, I think it's probably fairly subtle, all things considered, especially since I don't do it on every episode. Sometimes I forget, but it's something that I like to do. It's just a little touch of like, oh, here's a weird, like, post-processing thing that I do. If I had my way, I'd have that noise filter on like 100% of the episode. Well, if I had my way, we would have bought Film Convert, which is like expensive film grain emulation software, and we would apply that over the entire episode. But that doesn't entirely make sense for Scam School or web video in general, honestly. But that's what I would do.
Alright, well, apparently Mike's smarter than me. You're as dumb as me. But I am.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Hold on. Go back to that. Dial it back. Brant, go back. Zoom. Enhance. Alright, let's get just the right frame of this. This is totally going to be the thumbnail for the episode. Yeah. It's good. It's got him smiling, eyes open. He's doing the face. Oh my god. This is so perfect. Hopefully you guys know where I'm going with this. I'm pretty sure it's the same face. Oh, it's close. It's not 100%. I was really hoping it was going to be like a shot-for-shot match of classic Trevor. I think it's still in the spirit of classic Trevor. It's not exactly, but you know what? I'll take it. That's a hit. That's a hit, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, that's totally going to be the thumbnail, because that's great. Thank you, Jason Murphy.
But I have a feeling that none of you guys are going to get this last one. And I hope somebody...
Oh, I think I need to drop this back down. And playback, pause, good.
at home figures this out. This is one I'm actually going to read verbatim from an email sent to me from Kaylani Bochi. I hope I read that right. One mathematician proposes a challenge to the other. I want you to guess the age of my 3 daughters with the following information. The product of their ages is 72. The sum of their ages is the number of that house across the street. The second mathematician says it's impossible to determine with this information. The first one says, okay, the eldest one loves chocolate. Then the other mathematician says, oh, yeah, I got it. What are the ages of the children? And I'm going to put the challenge out to everyone at home. If you've got the goods, seriously, that's all the information you need to solve this thing. I got halfway there when John read this to me.
Man, John is really becoming a character on the show. We're getting a lot of in-episode shout-outs to John.
And dude, it's amazing. It's amazing.
The answer is clearly Nebraska.
One more time. 2 mathematicians. I want you to guess the age of my 3 daughters based on the following information. The product of all 3 daughters' ages is 72. The sum of their ages is the number of that house across the street. The second mathematician says, no way, not on that information. And he says, okay, the eldest one loves chocolate. And then he goes, oh, no, I got it now. What are the ages?
Let's see.
Well, talk it out, because I was able to... Talk it out, because I was able to...
Chocolate was invented in...
Good old Jason Murphy quip coming up.
in 1814 by Francis Coco.
Oh man, there's so much like post-production I really want to do on this episode, just to, like, spice it up. Luckily now I've got a little bit of time to do it. Hopefully I don't forget all these good ideas.
So, 1814.
All right, start with the first part. All right, what was it? The product of the ages is 72.
All right.
So give me 3 numbers that would add up to 70, or
Wait,
with
no.
multiple.
Multiply by
72,
70. Yeah. It's,
72.
what is it? 3, 6, and 4. 3, 6, and 4. Right?
That's a good little bit.
3, 6. What? 3, 6. Three, 6, and 4, right? 18, yeah. Yeah, 3, 6, and 4.
Okay.
Jeff is locked in with 9, 2, and 4. I don't remember the answer, so I'm not going to spoil it.
So, yeah, 3, 6, and 4, right? 18 times 4 is 32. Wait.
Bryce is locked in with 6, 2, and 3. Stay tuned to find out who is correct and who is wrong. Although Bryce might not be sure about that. Stay tuned.
Wait.
That's right. Yeah.
6, 2, and 6. Locked in. Bryce Castillo. Let's find out. Stay tuned.
3, 6, and 4. Okay. Yeah. So the product is and then.
And the sum is. And the sum is the amount of the house across the street.
Right. We're in a bar.
Yeah.
Ha ha ha! Some sort of scam. Some sort of scam. Because it's Scam School. That's what we do, ladies and gentlemen. We deal in scams.
There's no house.
No.
Okay. 3, 6, and 4.
3, 6, 4. So
Wait. Whoa.
surely adding up
Whoa.
those three.
3, 6, and 4.
Surely that's it, because then adding them up will make the sum of the house across the street.
Would it?
As an
Alright, I'm just checking out John's camera work over here because I can tell he's like, this is about time Mike starts getting excited. He's moving around quite a bit, so John's probably doing everything he can to keep him in frame.
That's a number we don't have, so if it's the three that add up, surely the house across the street is whatever number is those three added up. Because we don't have the house, the number of the house across the street.
Is 3, 6, and 4 the only combination that'll make 72 of 3? I doubt it. Is it?
Smug Brian. Classic Smug Brian. Gotta take a screenshot of that. Yeah! Look at how smug that face looks. Oh man. And compared to now, he's baby face. He's all maximum unbearded. Oh yeah, Mike totally has an accent. By the way, just FYI. Add another to the smug Brian faces. I need to cut this one out. Send it out to the masses. I don't know, that's a pretty good smug face too, but I like the other one more because it's just a little bit more exaggerated.
Is it?
I don't know. Try some.
Oh, damn it.
Is it?
I don't know. Try some others. What else you got?
What do we got?
I don't know. Here, let me throw some action at you. What? 1, 1, and 72. 1, 2, and 36. 2, 2, and 18. 2,
So
4,
no.
and 9.
Yeah.
2, 6, and 6. 3, 4, and 6, which is like. What you said?
Oh man, that's a good one too. Look at that Jason face. Saving that thumbnail. I've saved more thumbnails tonight than I have for like the past 4 episodes combined. It's all gold. All of it. Every last one.
I don't think chocolate has anything to do with it. No matter what
I'd
Francis
like
Coco
to
says.
think that. I would like.
I'm going to give you a little bit of a hint. I did not solve this. Let me be clear. I failed. I did understand.
Oh shit, y'all. I got a free gift on Crossy Road. My, what is it? 4 hours? 6 hours is up? Hold on. Hold up real quick. I gotta play around the Crossy Road. I gotta reset that counter, man. Look at that hipster whale. You can't see him, but trust me, it's great. Hold on. Live streaming Brant plays Crossy Road, but you can't see Crossy Road. Man, you should see this dog. He is booking it across these streets, man. Oh, got 2 coins already. Man, I should have streamed out to Twitch for this. I'm at 44. This dog is going places. 54. Oh, just crossed the river. That was some harrowing stuff. Oh, so many trains. I'm at 72. Oh, picked up a coin. Oh, snap. I was outrunning that car like you would not believe. Oh, that was dumb. I overshot that log, and I fell down at 82. Now let's get this free gift. 120 coins, not bad. It's not 550 coins, which I got the other day, which was like the most incredible thing on the planet. Puts me up over 200 coins. That's 2 prizes, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what we get. I've only got 3 characters left, so... Is this gonna be it? Nope, Festive Chicken. I already got him. Sorry, bro. Alright, one more roll. Let's see what we got. Could be the one. Could be. Oh, Unihorse. I already had him. Sorry. And that was your Crossy Road Minute. Thanks for sticking through that. Let's get back to Scam School. Thanks for the autosave, Premiere.
I did understand what the chocolate clue represented. There is a significant clue in there.
And we want to cut over to Brian with this.
There is a significant clue in there.
The eldest likes chocolate.
Right.
Oh, snap. John was adjusting camera during that, wasn't he? Yeah, because Mike's like way out there. So John's like, I don't know what to do, dog.
The eldest likes chocolate.
It's actually not too bad. At least not at the beginning. Once he sets it down on the ground.
Eldest likes chocolate.
Right.
There we go. Now it's good.
Do you want me to tell you what I figured out about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, please.
Because the first numbers that occurred to me were 6, 6, and 2. I pictured 2 twins, 6, 6, and 2. And I was like, oh, well, it's 2 twins, 6, 6, and 2. And then, but the statement, the eldest
So
likes
they're
chocolate.
not the same numbers. They can't be the same numbers.
Exactly, right? So
Damn it. Gotta get Jason in that.
exactly, right? So that's what I took away from that. However, that's as far as I got, and no. farther. So from here on out, you guys, I've given you all my gifts.
I'm gonna sit.
I've given you all my gifts.
That sounds like an end of episode tag if I ever heard one. So we'll copy that, undo, mark that so that way we can just jump back whenever. Paste here. Only select views, bottom two, delete. And now we have an end of tag.
I've given you all my gifts.
Perfect. I'm sure we could probably elaborate that more if we find another good soundbite, but that'll do on its own. Clear that marker. That ain't no Sharpie. Clear that right up.
You guys, I've given you all my gifts.
Sorry for keeping you in so much suspense, Jeff. I'm working on it. I'm getting there.
I'm gonna sit here and drink until we come back.
All right, all right. Are you calling it?
I don't know. I don't know.
It's, shit, if I had to list the numbers and go through it, because it wouldn't.
Oh. Surprise guest cameo. John stepping in. Not really, though.
Jeez.
It's not gonna help.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's gonna help. All right,
Let's see.
That's kind of funny if you frame it right.
it's gonna help. All right.
Let's see.
John trying to step in and help him, and then Jason's like, come on, dog. That's not going to help. Ah. Alright, so take that, drop it in outtakes, but it's probably not going to get used.
Numbers and go through it, because.
All right.
Let's see.
Oh, snap. Did I cut out some good stuff?
It wouldn't.
Oh, no, I didn't. That's pretty much right when John cut in. He stepped over him a little bit.
Numbers and go through it.
All right.
Let's see. So,
Alright, cut that out.
so the highest number has to be by itself. So from that list of numbers of multiples, we're looking at one single number that is higher than the rest of them.
3,
'Cause-
4, and 6 works.
It does. That does work. 3, 4, and 6 does work.
It is a pretty good accent. I don't think he's faking it.
What about the thing across the street?
That is complete bollocks. That is.
No, it's
Complete
not.
bollocks.
It's not. It
Because
can't be.
just because
Okay.
we don't know the number
Okay,
across the
so-
street.
Okay, all right. So the number across the street. So we got evens and odds, right?
Maybe, but we don't know. We don't know where the house is
The
in
number
regard
across
to
the
across the street.
will be one number difference.
Which, in theory, it should just be whatever that part of the riddle is just to throw you.
It's not. It's
those,
not.
Because those three numbers, doesn't matter what three numbers we come up with,
not.
are going to add up to the one
I'm
across the street.
calling it. What's the answer?
Oh my God. God, you were diabolically close. You're gonna kill yourself.
Damn, I didn't get his reaction for that. That's alright.
You're gonna kill yourself. Oh my God. Here's the thing. You're right. It does matter with the number across the street. Okay. You're right
Yep.
in that if we had a list of all the products of 72, that would help. Here's the thing. We don't know and cannot know what the number across the street is. But the two mathematicians know. So, if you look at
Yeah, well. Brian is no stranger to hyperbole.
all the different products that add up to 72. Or,
Also sensationalism.
sorry, if you look at all the different products that multiply to create 72, you got 1172, 1236, 1324, 1418, 1612, 189, 2218, 2312. 249, 266, 238, or I'm sorry, 338, 346. Here's the thing. Out of all of
Oh, we gotta. Here's the thing. Yeah, like he did pretty good on this episode. So here's the thing: is like the vocal version of him waving his hands that we saw earlier. He says that every time he's like, every time he's looking for kind of sort of a clean slate, to differentiate him presenting a concept and him, like, and him getting like to the point, basically. Like, he uses that to break up ideas. So some episodes he says it like 20 times, and it's really great because it just happens all the time. This time he did pretty good. But I know he's not too worried about it because he knows that us editors, we can cut that out, and I do every time.
Here's the thing.
Here's the thing.
Here's the thing.
You know what I gotta say to that, Brian? You know what I gotta say to your here's the thing? Hold on. This is gonna be real funny. Here's the thing. Smug Brian, here's the thing. Every time he says that, he's making that face on the inside. Here's the thing. And I'm just like, come on, Brian. For real? And he's like, oh, hold on. I opened that in preview. I wasn't supposed to do that. So I'm like, come on, Brian, for real? And he's like, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Anyway, let's get back to this. Sorry.
6. Here's the thing. Out of
Here's the thing. Cut that out right now.
all of those,
Should probably multicam.
only 2 of them yes, only 2 of
Cut that out.
only 2 of them, only 2 of them, only 2, only 2 of them, only 2.
Only 2 of them. We got it, Brian. Only 2 of them.
Of all of those, only 2 of them have the same sum. So if you're sitting there at the pub and you know what that number is across the street, the first mathematician looks at all the possibilities and sees 2 of them that add up to 14, and the house across the street is 14. So he says it's impossible with the current information.
But the other 2 that live across the street can look back and see it.
No. And then the other guy says, the eldest likes chocolate, which eliminates the twins at 6, and means by process of elimination, it's got to be 3, 3, and 8.
Boom! Both of y'all were wrong. What was it, 3, 3, and 8? Is that what he said? I wasn't really paying attention. I remember getting it when I was there filming it, but it's been really hard for me to follow at 5 a.m.
It's got to be 3, 3, and 8.
So basically, there's no way we could have done that without pen and paper.
Exactly.
Or there's
maybe
no
you
way
should-
we could have. Or there's
Maybe
no
you
way
should-
we could have done
we
that full
had.
stop.
We had the numbers around. We had even
Because
if
maybe
it
you should've
sold,
said yes.
we should have
When
shoveled.
John- He offered you pen and paper. Here, toast me. Boo, 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 boo.
I was busy drinking.
And that's a wrap.
Ugh.
So, what's that? Yeah, that was good.
Oh yeah, John was real nervous about that. He's like, "Oh snap! They figured out that one. They're gonna figure out all of them." But
That was good. Dude, I think we're good. Hey, Brant, we'll forward you the email so you can, like, wrap it all up.
wait, what were you saying, Brian? Sorry, I need to know this information. What was that past, Brian?
We'll forward you the email so you can, like, wrap it all up.
Oh man, I should really talk to them about forwarding me those emails, because I don't have that email yet.
We'll forward you the email so you can, like, wrap it all up.
All right, I'll take your word on that needing to be graphed all out. So it sounds like this episode is not going to get done tonight. I'm going to get a lot of it done, but it's not going to be as neat as I was hoping. Now this should be a little bit easier because now I don't have to switch through, so I can just kind of run through and be like, hey, this is dumb, this needs to be cut out, this needs to be cut out, all that stuff. And hopefully it should run a little bit smoother.
This week you prove you're smarter than everyone else using the power of unfair riddles. This episode is...
Oh, wait. Hold on. Yo, that's dumb. Yeah, no, that's bad. So when I pushed all this back, I just, like... The timing is all stupid on showing the intro. So what I'll do is I will say... There. That's where this starts. And I'll move this back some, just so that way we could get the pushing up of this Game School book to at least time up a little bit better with the theme. So yeah, I can sync it up with the second one and that'll be fine. Yeah.
This episode is...
Yeah, because if we push it back any further, it's gonna get that like, hey, it's blotchy and stuff. I don't know. We're gonna get a lot of that, and we don't need all that. Actually, I could probably push all of this and everything else a little bit earlier. Yeah, we could push this way earlier. Just since the theme ends a bit earlier. Scam School. Oh yeah.
This episode of Scams...
This episode is sponsored by Domain.com.
This episode of Scam School brought to you by Domain.com. Welcome to the show.
We should absolutely do an ad that's Domain.conf. That would be great. And I realized that joke's been done before. I'm pretty sure one of the early NSFW show episodes was named like weirdthings.conf. But I think it's a good joke.
This episode of Scam School brought to you by Domain.com. Welcome to the show that's exactly like the Riddler, only it dresses better. I mean, not by a lot, but slightly. I mean, it's not wearing a one-piece unitard with the question. Hey man, welcome to Scam School, the only show dedicated to social engineering at the bar and on the street. Hello, beautiful people, I'm Brian Brushwood, and this week we have 3 unbelievable riddles. Stuff you can do anytime, anywhere to fry their minds. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, toast.
Alright, location stuff. Is there any location stuff for this? I think this shoot specifically, there was a particular lack of location shots. Is it dearth? Am I thinking of the word dearth? There was a dearth of shots? Yeah, I totally got that one right. There was a dearth of location establishing footage for this. But maybe there's still some that can be used. So first I'll check B-roll. Wait, when was this episode shot? This was shot December 12th. So I don't have any B-roll specific from December 12th. But we can still check the cards to see if there was anything that just didn't get separated out. Definitely not there. Definitely not there. And I'm pretty sure it wasn't on the master shot. I think it was all recorded on a different card, but this will help identify. So that's on my external hard drive. I'll probably put that together tomorrow. Yeah. So I'll do that tomorrow. I'll figure something out.
Boom. All right, so here we are back with.
Yo, give me the cut tool. Dang. Come on, Premiere. Acting foolish.
Alright, so here we are back with. Boom. Alright, so here we are back with Mike and Jason. And I have 3 riddles, all 3 of which completely floored me. I was unable to solve any of these. But I got this vague feeling like maybe the 2 of you are smarter than I am. Maybe your combined powers. So I'm gonna give you all 3. If you solve any of them, free beers for the rest of the night.
What if I bring down the...
If you solve any of them, free beers for the rest of the night.
Oh, snap. He should have gotten them all free beers for the rest of the night because they saw 1. Alright, later, Neshcom. See you. Good luck with your edit. Hope it's going well. I want to keep at this for another hour or so.
Any of them, free beers for the rest of the night.
What if I bring down the curve? What if he's smarter than you, but I'm stupid enough to make everything...
By the way, Jeff, what time zone are you in? Because like this is a ridiculous hour to be here live. I'm just curious.
Down the curve. What if he's smarter than you, but I'm... What if he's... Down the curve. What if he's smart... Down the curve. What if he's smarter than you, but I'm stupid enough to make it...
Oh man, so so Jeff, are you up late or up early? I'm guessing up late, if only because I'm up late, but that's still an equally ridiculous time as I am.
Everything.
Math. Okay. The first one.
What if he's smarter than you, but I'm stupid enough to make everything...
Math. Okay. Math. Okay. The first one. Imagine a hard...
But I'm stupid enough to make everything...
Math. Okay. The first one. Imagine a hardware store.
Ah, nice.
Guy walks into a hardware store and he grabs an item that you'll find at every hardware store. Walks up to the counter, says, "How much for one?" Guy at the counter says, 20 cents. Goes off. Comes back. Says, "How much for 12?"
I feel like, does Zach shoot in a different frame rate? That's just total speculation, because it just looks kind of weird. I might be, like, 100% imagining things, though. But that would be ridiculous. Nope, totally same. I'm just imagining things. Maybe when it switched over, my computer's like, yo, this is actually really easy to render. So we're actually going to render all the frames instead of just some of them.
The guy says, 40 cents. Comes back. He's like, "I'll take 122. He's like, "That'll be 60 cents. What item was he buying? So he asked, "How much for one?" Answer was 20. "How much for 12?" The answer was 40. "How much for 122?" And it was 60 cents. So he asked.
All right, so this repetition will cut out. It's kind of necessary in person, especially since it's not written down or shown to them or anything. It's just verbal or vocal or whatever. It's spoken. So I'll put it in the burned takes, which is where I put useful footage that probably won't make the cut. It would be equally useful here, except for one, viewers can, if they don't understand it, they can go back and they can listen to the question again. But also, I'm going to have overlays on the screen, so that'll help really drive the point home, and it'll be super clear and simple.
This is not good television, by the way.
I know, I'm sitting there puzzling over it. All right.
By the way, that is the indicator of a good riddle.
Well,
the
what-
fact
what
that it
is-
just shuts everything down.
All right, can you tell us?
By the way, that is the indicator of a good riddle.
I know, I'm sitting there puzzling over it.
That is the indicator.
Sitting there puzzling over it.
That is the indicator of a good riddle.
Well,
the
what-
fact
what
that
is-
it just shuts everything down.
All right, can you tell us what the quantity? Well,
The
what-
fact
what
that
is-
it just shuts everything down.
All right, can you tell us what the quantity is? Is it just 20 or is it 20 inches? Is it 20 feet?
I think that's for you to figure out.
Okay, all
Yeah.
right, all right.
That's an important part of the riddle.
Okay.
You got any idea, Mike?
Thinking wood?
It's such a funny answer. Yeah, that's a good question, Jeff. I hadn't really thought about it. That's probably something that's a bridge I would cross as I do it. But yeah, I'll probably end up spelling it out. Well, I'm also I'm planning on having the entire like the entire riddle on screen in some capacity. So it would also just make a little bit more sense to have it spelled out, I'm sure. But I think that's a good idea. So I'll definitely make sure to incorporate just the spelling.
Important part of the riddle.
You got any idea, Mike?
Thinking wood?
I'm thinking wood.
Mike?
Thinking wood?
Wood.
What, 100, give me 122 wood.
Yeah.
What? What does that mean?
Hey?
I'm gonna go to the hardware store. I would like 122 wood. I would like 122 wood. Wood.
Yeah.
What? What does that mean? I would like 122 wood. That doesn't mean anything. Okay, 20, 40, 60 cents.
It's also
Okay, 20. That doesn't mean anything. Anything. 20, 40, 60 cents.
He's also gone in the store 3 times.
I don't know.
Let's see.
All right, do you get to tell us now or do we have to wait?
Well, I think we'll wait a last minute guess.
I don't know.
Gone in the store 3 times. He's also gone in the store 3 times.
I don't know.
Any last minute guesses?
No.
Last minute guesses?
No.
It's at a hardware store. That part.
No.
It's at a hardware store. That part is important. That doesn't do anything for you.
I'm generally very lost at hardware stores. Like they're gonna ask me, what are you even doing here?
He's at a hardware store buying house numbers.
No.
House numbers.
No.
1. House numbers.
No.
1 numbers.
No.
1 is 20 cents. 12
2 numbers. Yeah.
is 40 cents.
Yeah, and then at that reveal, I'll use the actual numbers, and I think that'll be a very clear distinction at that point.
122 is 60 cents.
Okay.
20 cents. 12
2 numbers. Yeah.
is 40 cents. 122 is 60 cents.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Alright.
All right. This next one is a little bit tougher.
Great.
Yeah.
We did so well.
Next one is a little bit tougher.
Great.
Yeah.
We did so well.
Second one is actually easier. I think you'll get this one.
Oh.
There are 10 candles. Easier. I think you'll get this one.
Oh.
There are 10 candles. There are 10. Easier. I think you'll get this one. There are 10 candles. They're all burning, right? You leave. You'll get this one. There are 10 candles. I think you'll get this one. There are 10 candles. They're all burning, right? You leave the room.
Also, pretty much anytime Brian ever says right and asks for a confirmation, particularly when it's rhetorical, I always cut that out as well. Almost all of my Scam School edit mentality is just find anything unnecessary and get rid of it. And there's a lot of stuff like that in dialogue. Just like, I'll even take out the word because a lot of times, if only just because it takes, you know, half a second, a third of a second, and you can 100% understand what he's saying without the word. So I do that a lot. I don't know, some episodes I go a little overboard with it, and I think the episode feels a bit choppy because of it, but there's also a lot of like really seamless stuff that gets cut out just to smooth things out and tighten the pacing and make Brian sound smart. Stuff like that.
They're all burning. You leave the room, and you come back, and you realize that the room burning. You leave the room, and you come back, and you realize that the window's open, and 2 of the candles have gone out. You're like, meh, bummer. Then you leave. You come back, and you see 1 more candle has gone out.
Yeah, here I might have to do a little bit more camera switching than I would typically like to do, if only because, for whatever reason, as Brian is telling these riddles, he's got a very deliberate, like, start and stop kind of a speech pattern, and for video it's just like it's taking up a ton of time, and I always use camera switches to speed things up. That's true. You know, in person you need, I mean, on some level you need crutches that help build up time as you're finding your words, but also people need extra words to kind of parse things out, especially in like a noisy environment like this. That's definitely absolutely true.
You're like, meh, bummer. Then you leave. You come back, and you
So yeah, like each one of these breaks is like half a second. You get enough of those, and it really adds up.
You come back, and you see 1 more. Leave. You come.
A puzzle room? What exactly does a puzzle room entail? I honestly have not even the slightest idea what that means. I mean, it sounds cool. I just don't know.
Leave. You come back, and you see 1 more candle has gone out. And you're like, well, I'll put it into this. You shut the window, and you leave again. Assuming the wind doesn't blow out any more candles, when you come back in the morning, how many candles are there?
There are 10 candles.
Just 3 whole candles and 7 piles of wax.
That didn't go according.
3 whole candles and
How many candles are there?
There are 10 candles.
3.
Candles. 10 candles.
Jeff, it's a live-action puzzle where you're locked in a room and you have to use clues in the room to reach the objective, be it a key, a code, an object, etc. Except in the US, you're never actually locked in the room because of fire code. Well, that's kind of cool. That sounds neat. That sounds like the kind of thing they might have at some kind of like big sort of party location, like a main event where they got games and stuff. Maybe, I don't know. That sounds kind of neat. It's sort of like in the same industry as the Go game in such a way that it's this like unconventional sort of like game related job.
Candles are there?
There are 10 candles.
3 whole candles and 7 piles of wax.
That didn't go according to plan.
It's to build their confidence.
If you couldn't hear, John goes, that's to build their confidence. All of a sudden I feel dumb that one fooled me. If you couldn't hear, John goes, that's to build their confidence. All of a sudden I feel dumb that one fooled me.
You didn't get that.
What's the answer? Is it 3 or is it 10?
It's 3. It's 3.
Okay.
Yeah. All of a sudden I feel dumb that one. All of a sudden I feel dumb that one fooled me.
You didn't get that.
What's the answer? Is it 3 or is it 10?
It's 3. It's 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so the other, I don't know how big the candles are.
No. All of a sudden I feel dumb that one fooled me.
You didn't get that.
What's the answer? What's the answer? Is it 3 or is it 10?
It's 3.
Huh. That's kind of interesting. Yeah, I guess I could see that kind of a mall, kind of inner mall attraction kind of thing. That sort of makes sense. I would imagine. I don't know. I could probably count on my hands the amount of times I've ever been in a mall in my entire life. So less than 10. I don't know. The only time I've ever been in a mall has been to see movies in back up in Dallas. There was a mall kind of nearby the house that had a movie theater in it, and sometimes we'd go there, sometimes we'd go to another movie theater that was kind of its own building. But I've only roamed around a mall once, maybe ever. Malls are sort of my own personal hell. It sounds like one of the single worst places on the entire planet. As somebody who has social anxieties and just wants to have nothing to do with being surrounded by hundreds of people at any given moment in time, and also hates spending money, and also doesn't like a lot of food, and just everything about a mall just absolutely works against me from every angle. But that sounds cool.
All of a sudden I feel dumb that one fooled me.
You didn't get that.
What's the answer? Is it 3 or is it 10?
It's 3. It's 3.
Okay.
It's 3. It's 3.
Is it 3 or is the answer? Is it 3 or is it 10?
It's 3.
What's the answer?
It's 3. It's 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so the
It's 3.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so the other, I don't know how big. Okay.
Yeah.
It's three. Okay. I don't know how. What's the answer?
It's three. It's three.
Okay. I don't know how big the candles are. Three. Okay. I don't know how big the candles are. No.
Maybe you'll count
exactly right.
like,
Maybe they'll burn. Maybe they'll burn for like an entire week. I don't know.
I don't know if I phrased it wrong, but like you guys, it was totally clear. I must be a better communicator than I
You
thought.
said how many candles are there? I'm like, well, there's still 10 candles.
Well, yeah, no, but he got it exactly right.
three,
Yeah,
but
so,
there
yeah.
are
All right.
7 put
Well, look, I got one that. All right.
7 put away.
Well, yeah, no, but he got it exactly right. Yeah, so,
there
yeah.
Okay, you said how many candles are there? I'm like, well, there's still 10 candles.
Well, yeah, no, but clear. I must be a better communicator than I
Okay, you
thought.
said how many candles are there? I'm like, well, there's still 10 candles.
Well, yeah, no, but really clear. I must be a better communicator than I
Okay, you
thought.
said how many candles are there? I'm like, well, there's still.
There's one in Austin, you say? Let's see. Who, do you know what kind of... Here, I'll even open it up over here. Do you know what service they use for that website? Because I swear, I was on another website just like today that had the exact same layout and everything. Like the same template. I don't know. That's cool. There you go. Within the hour. An hour is a long time. So that sounds like a good time. Do they usually do like groups or use solo? I'd imagine they could do like probably a couple people, right? I don't know. Oh, hey, there's my stats. Check it out. Oh, I believe you're responding to the website question at this point.
Must be a better communicator than I thought.
All right.
7 put away.
Communicator than I thought. All right.
7 put
Well,
away.
look, I thought. All right. Than I thought. All right.
7 put
Well,
away.
look, I got. All right.
7.
Groups are recommended. The one I work at, we suggest 6 at a minimum, up to 12 usually. Wow, okay. That's cool. Yeah, I feel like if you had just 1 or 2 people, you might get like some cabin fever kind of stuff going on, like a little bit of onset claustrophobia sort of stuff going on, feeling like you're locked in a room. But that's cool. Sounds like fun. I don't think I even know 6 people in Austin. I guess I probably know 6 people. I don't know 12 people. But then again, I'm sure you could rile up some people while you're there.
a better communicator than I thought. All right. Well, look, I got one that's definitely we're tied up, but you're gonna lose the next one. I guarantee it.
All right, 4.5 minutes is a little late into the episode for the ad break. Typically, it's closer to 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes. But then again, this is also a slightly different format in that it's three different bits and not like a performance. And then, hey, do you want to know how it's done? Let's check that out in the second half. But I'm sure there's like a billion minutes of footage to cut out of this second half, so I'm not too worried about it. Jeff, the one I did in Atlanta, though, was just 2 people, and we solved it. So it depends on who you're with, the type of puzzle and the difficulty of the room. And went through as a customer. Huh. I mean, that also sounds kind of cool. Yeah. It's an interesting idea, right? I mean, so much of what we bill as entertainment, aside from films and books and stuff, but even those work kind of more on a cerebral level, is like, let's simulate, intense danger, right? Like skydiving, you are putting yourself at a tremendous risk. Luckily, you happen to have a parachute, hopefully, which dramatically minimizes your potential risk. But obviously, bad things can happen. And so this is kind of like taking that some serious shit's going down, and so it's in a safe environment, but it's this like, oh snap, what do I gotta do? Like high pressure kind of situation. So that's kind of cool.
All right. Well, apparently Mike's smarter than me. You're as dumb as me. But I am smarter than me. You're as dumb as me. You're as dumb as me. But I have a feeling that none of you guys are.
Oh man, I so gotta gift that. I don't know why, but I really love that reaction.
But I have a feeling that none of you guys are going to get this last one, and I hope somebody at home figures this out. This is one.
Actually, I might do that right now. Hold on. I'm going to gift this while it's hot in my mind, because I'm not going to finish this episode tonight. I hate to break it to you.
But
I'm absolutely going to get this done. Where should I do it? Let's see. Burned takes for now. I'll duplicate that. I'll do classic Trevor, because that's my favorite Jason Murphy meme. Alright, classic Trevor. Get rid of that.
Dumb as me. But I have.
Alright, we'll cut it right there.
But
we'll add frame hold. Audio doesn't matter for this. I guess we could freeze frame up on him like this. Nah, I'm not feeling that. So just stop right here. Go into assets, titles, create a new title. Not a new bin. Not a new bin. Title. Classic Trevor. Classic Trevor. I'm sure Jason will really appreciate this. Choplin, probably. You know, Choplin's a real classic. It's such a solid font. I love it. Now I'm thinking maybe extra light. Alright, so pretty much what I do for every single title in all of Game School. 2 outer strokes, right? So you get this big bold stroke thing. Change one of them from edge, which just does the basic stroke, to depth, right? Which is going to give it kind of that 3D look. Go at 140 degrees, and then just mess around with it. Since this is such a thin font, you don't want a super crazy depth. Like you get the effect of the depth at a much smaller size. And also going to bring down the edge a bit. Don't want it to be too overpowering, but just enough, you know, to kind of just differentiate and distinguish it from the background. Might actually pull this out a little bit more. 10-10 might not have been too bad. Although, with as stylized as this is, it might even be better just without any of it. And I don't want to cover up Mike's face. Where's the other outer stroke? There we go. So I think it's the outer stroke that's really taking me for a trip. So I really want to minimize that. This is a lot of work for a really quick joke. It's pretty dumb. But that's the Bizarre Magic way, if we're being honest. I don't know, there's something about that I kind of dig. Alright, no 1 or 2 seconds. Boom. You can see that kind of looping and being like, ah, yeah, that's funny. Classic Trevor. Oh yeah, this is absolutely 100% not going in the episode. This is totally just a thing that I'm going to render out and I'm going to send it to Jason, and that's where it's going to live. That's all. Because there's no way. As funny as I think it would be to have something like this in the episode, that there is no place for this in the actual episode. Alright, so I'm just gonna export that right now. Alright. Episodes 368. Exports. This game's got caps it. Scam School 368 dash excerpt 01 GIF. That's right, dog. GIF. Mad GIFin'. Render that out. Yeah, I never really understood the difference between 1-pass and 2-pass rendering. I mean, I understand the concept. I don't really fully grasp the benefits to one over the other. Theoretically, I would imagine a 2-pass render would have a little bit more fidelity and it would look a little bit nicer, but that's not always the case. Sometimes the file sizes change a little bit. Sometimes things just get weird. So I'm gonna go to GIFcat, my classic GIF maker. Also, wait, where was I just at? This is great. Cheeto sent me this at one point in time and said that's Cheeto clapping infinitely. It's such a phenomenal GIF. And of course, pair that up with Justin clapping infinitely. I really need like a GIF folder of just all of our best GIFs. Yeah, 2-pass encoding, I just don't understand it. It seems to take a little bit longer, but not like appreciably not longer. Like, it's just, I don't know, it just feels like, I don't know, another thing for it to do. And it just never made much sense to me. But then again, I never really researched it. Like most things in video production, I just kind of mess around with stuff, and if I notice a difference, then I learned something, but if not, then whatever. There we go. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to send it out to Jason right now. And you can check out my sick tweet streams. Look, there's Bryce. He left early like a loser. Alright, so Captain Murphy. You know, let me know if you've seen anything like this. I guess I've never really looked into it. Maybe there's a way, but I don't think there is. So like it auto fills in basically any person whose profile you've ever looked at on the Twitter app, and I think it's like super annoying. I wish I could just like clear out names from this, because it's like I don't know who literally every person in this list is except for Jason Murphy. And I think that's kind of annoying, but maybe I'm just complaining to complain, but it would be real cool if I could get rid of those names. Here we go. This is riveting online entertainment, new media right here. I'm streaming out me tweeting people. Oh man, I had no idea Trevor showed up for this upcoming Scam School. And he's like, Trevor, why are you sending this to me? Boom! Classic Trevor. Oh man. Jason's so gonna get boiled when he sees this. Send it out. Send it out. Tweet it out. Oh, you just got boiled, Jason. You just got boiled. Yeah, maybe I could do that, Jeff. You know, I've done stuff like that before. There's a real art to one frame edits. There's a real art to it. I did stuff like that in high school, back before I had any sense of nuance, and it was really obvious. Like, mad obvious. Like, you're not fooling anybody kind of obvious. But I've done stuff in some of our Scam School ads that a lot of people don't pick up on, right? So maybe I'll just run through this real quick. I won't actually watch the ads, but I'll just talk about one or two of them real quick. Scam School ads. So, you know, like, for instance, there's... So the Domain Club one, there are a handful of, like, one frame edits. I think there's 2 or 3 of them. And most of the time it ends up just being, you know, placing the domain logo in frame, and it's pretty front and center, but since it happens only for one frame, it's pretty easy to miss. I also did it in our, which I still need to upload here, I did it in our RoboCop ad. Like in a lot of those static transitions that show up every now and then, there's like domain logos and text inside of those, and so it, you know, sometimes you could blend it in really well, and sometimes it's super obvious. In this case, I might be able to blend it in. I don't know. If it cuts from this shot to, say, another shot right here, and I put it as like the last frame before the transition, totally unnoticed. Nobody's gonna think a thing about it, I think. Although it would be more seamless if it were, so this is the last frame and this is the first frame. It would be more seamless if I hid a subliminal thing in this frame than if I did in this frame. Just because there's going to be, you know, everybody subconsciously has a pattern in their mind for this shot specifically. And they're going to notice that something is off on the last frame of this. But as soon as you jump over, their minds are catching up and they're deleting some of the information that they take in when it switches over, because their brain is reacclimating themselves to the scene. So it's way easier to just drop something in here. Not that I'm revealing any super secret ways that the mind works or anything, but Twitter menu and then empty cache will clear the username autocomplete. No way. That sounds awesome. Twitter menu, empty cache. Oh my god. You are my savior, Jeff. You are the best person alive at 5:45 in the morning. That's great, Jeff. You know, you'd think a real smart guy like me would be able to figure out something like that. You know, since it's right there in the menu. But nope. Then again, I guess it didn't bother me enough to look into it, but it bothered me enough to complain about it, so thank you. Yeah, you know, I used to use Twitter apps. I used to use stuff like Tweetbot. I got a handful on my phone, but I end up just gravitating towards the default one. I got kind of neurotic when it came to making like a billion lists. So I don't do that anymore. I just have a single list, which is my main timeline. Anyway, that's awesome.
You're as dumb as me.
He's talking about me right now. I'm as dumb as them.
But I have a feeling that none of you guys are going to get this last one. And I hope somebody else. But I have a feeling that none of you guys are. But I have a
Actually, okay, so. This is.
I have a feeling that is me.
Yeah, never mind. I was thinking about adding in that frame, but it looks like it's not nearly as close to the edge of that edit as I was hoping it would be. Maybe it could be.
But I have
Yeah, actually, I do need to cut out some of that, so maybe let's test it out. Let's see what it looks like before I say anything definitively. Let's take this. Oh man, I just remembered. I basically did one of these where it was like I put some text in one frame of an episode, and nobody has ever caught it. But it was a Metal Gear Solid reference that I thought was super funny. And it's just like right in the middle of an episode, just totally apropos of nothing. Well, it was based off of something that somebody in the episode said. I think it was Brian. And I thought that was super funny. Nobody's ever seen it, though. Alright, let's see. Alright, so Brian's finger's pointing up. So it's right there. Boom. That's the one. That's the ticket. Yeah, I think that might be too obvious. Yeah, that's too obvious. But what I can do is, now that I've rendered that out, you can come in here. I can remove the strokes, so that way it's a little bit more. It blends in a little bit more. Bring it down to 100. Do 75. And then we can just lower the opacity a bit, so it's even more obscure. Alright, so now we're going at full resolution. Let's see if it's like super obvious or not. It's kind of obvious. I'll bring it down even more. There we go, now we're talking. Oh yeah, you can't even see that. I mean, you can, but only if you're really looking. I'm totally leaving that in there.
to me. You're as dumb as me. But I have a feeling
Yeah, but you can 100% see that if you're looking for it. But it's great.
as me. But I have a feeling
So deal with it, Jason Murphy. Oh really? Yeah, maybe it's just I'm so tuned into it that I'm seeing it. But yeah, that's great. That's 100% in there.
dumb as me. But I
And that's kind of like how I did with the Metal Gear Solid reference. Like, it was smaller than this though, but yeah, that's true. It could be YouTube compression stuff. Maybe it skipped a frame, or maybe it's just too lost in the compression. But considering that's how most of the people are gonna watch it on YouTube with the final product, I think it's totally fine.
but I have a but I have a feeling that
Oof. Oh, right.
dumb as me, but I have a feeling,
Oh yeah, I didn't even see it that time.
dumb as me, but I have a feeling that none of you guys are. But I have a feeling that none of you guys are going to get this last one, and I hope somebody at home figures this out. This is one I'm actually going to read. Somebody at home figures this out. This is one I'm actually going to read verbatim from an email sent to me from Kaylani Bochi. I hope I read that right. One mathematician. Read that right. One mathematician. Read that right. One mathematician proposes a challenge to the other. I want you to guess the age of my 3 daughters with the following information. The product of their ages is 72. The sum of their ages is the number of that house across the street.
You should, Jeff. He'd probably take him a minute to figure it out, but that would be funny, cause I'm pretty sure he's not subscribed to me, and I didn't like tweet this out or anything, so he probably wouldn't know that I streamed it out. That'd be pretty good. Or maybe you just like sit there and refresh the episode and you get the first comment out and you're like, pfft. But the answer to the third one is this, not even looking, like, whatever. This is baby stuff. Elementary, Brian. Come on, jeez.
Of that house across the street. The second house across the street. The second mathematician says it's impossible to determine with this information. The first one says, okay, the eldest one loves chocolate. Then the other mathematician says, oh, yeah, I got it. What are the ages? Yeah, I got it. What are the... Yeah, I got it. What are the ages of the children? And I'm going to put the challenge out to everyone at home.
Oh, you hear that, Jeff? Brian's put the challenge out to you. He's calling you out.
And I'm going to put the challenge out to everyone at home. If you got the goods, seriously, that's all the information you need to solve this thing. I got halfway there when John read this to me. And, dude...
Oh man, that lens looks so good. Sorry. It's just a fact.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
The answer is clearly Nebraska.
One more time. 2 mathematicians. I want you to guess the age of my 3 daughters based on the... One more time. 2 mathematicians. I want you to guess the age of my 3 daughters based on the following information. The product of all 3 daughters' ages is 72. The sum of their ages is the number of that house across the street. The second mathematician says, no way, not on that information. And he says, okay, the eldest one loves chocolate. And then he goes, oh, no, I got it now. What?
Yeah, no, sending the tweet is definitely the way to go. Now that I'm thinking about it, like, don't even allude to it too much because, well, this is how I would do it, right? I would, like, tweet him at 7:50 or something. Like, you know, it's real close to the release of the episode, but right before it. And then you're just like, oh yeah, it's, 338. And And then he's like, it's been over a month since we shot this episode, so he's gonna be like, what are you talking about? And then he's definitely gonna see the episode the night that it's released, and he's gonna be like, how did he know? I don't know. Maybe it'll be fresh on his mind after I send him a rough cut or something, so he'd be like, wait, what? But either way, that's still better than the YouTube commenting.
One more time. 2 mathematicians. I want you to guess the age of my 3 daughters based on the following information. The product of all 3 daughters' ages is 72.
Yeah, totally. Something like that.
The sum of their ages is the number of that house across the street. The second mathematician says, no way, not on that information. And he says, okay, the eldest one loves chocolate. And then he goes, oh, no, I got it now. What are the ages? Let's see. Well, talk it out, because I was able to... What are the ages?
Hold on, choppy. I'm gonna listen to it back. It might be an easy fix, it might not be an easy fix, depends. But yeah, I'm not gonna be on for much longer. I'm gonna be on for like just a minute or so. So let me listen back real quick. Yo, test 1 2, test 1 2. Maybe that fixed it. I don't know. It does sound real bad. Let me know. Either way, I will be leaving soon.
Talk it out. 'Cause I was able to see.
Was invented in 1814 by Francis Coco.
Alright, great. Yeah, sometimes my mic does that and it gets all robo and stuff. I don't actually know the reason why, but a lot of USB mics do that. One of these days I'm going to upgrade my mic and hopefully that won't be a problem anymore. But I'm just glad I know how to fix that problem. Oh man, it's been like that for a half hour? Man, that sucks. Yeah, that's a really simple fix.
This is Coco. So, 1814.
All right, start.
Princess Coco. So, 1814.
All right, start with the first part. All right, what was it? The product of the ages is 72. All right. So give me 3 numbers. So give me 3. Ages is 72. So give me 3 numbers that would add up to 70. Or wait.
Jeff, no, Monday morning, Scam School Remix goes up, which I have done. If you want a super quick sneak peek of that, it's the,
Scam School Remix.
The
Perfect bar challenge. I want you to imagine this.
It's the Heist, episode 28 or so. That'll go up at 10 a.m. Central Time on Monday. This episode goes up at our usual posting time of Wednesday night at 8 p.m.
So give me 3 numbers that would add up to 70. Or
Multiply.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a,
Me too.
what is it? 3, 6, and 4, right? 18, yeah. Yeah, 3, 6, and 4.
Okay.
So, yeah, 364, right? 18 times 4 is 336. Wait.
Yeah, there's still plenty to cut through with this, so I'm beat. I'm not gonna get through all this. So I guess I'm going to call it a night here in just a second. Hold on, I'm looking for a cable. Oh, yeah, I see. Yeah, I think usually they get posted to the feeds at the same time as well. Generally, although yeah, I can see where time does not become a factor for your consumption. But yeah, that's when it goes up. If you ever forget, I'm pretty sure the times are posted on. They're posted on like the front page of DC TVpedia. New episode goes live Wednesdays. Let me double check that before I'm called a liar. Well, it just says every Wednesday. But yeah, it's 8 p.m. Simple enough to remember. Anyway, so I'm going to call it a night, and I'm gonna play it out with a song, with a little song from a band across the sea. Oh. This is Fundamentals. Home in Your Head. Part 2. If you like the sound of this, look up Fundamentals. Support them. I think this is on their SoundCloud. Our resident Australian hip-hop group. There it is. Boom. On that note, play us out, Classic Trevor. Hey, well, I appreciate it, Jeff. Whoa. Hey. Yeah. You know, a lot of people seem to get something out of just watching creative people doing creative stuff. So, like, you know, Bryce streams sometimes, and he'll stream, like, creating music. And, like, I kind of understand the basic principles of what's going on, and, like, EQs and compressors and stuff like that. I sort of understand the basics. But really, it looks like he's just making crazy, weird, like, just random stuff that I don't really know, but it's making noise. And it's just kind of fun to watch. I don't know. There's something snappy and just really entertaining to watch people do stuff. I don't know. I think that's why Twitch is so big, you know, because there is some kind of player agency and creativeness in just playing games. Anyway, thanks for sticking around, man. It was a fun time. I'm very tired, so I'm gonna go sleep. Like right now. Good night.